Good day, everybody. Another Saturday, heading to the park with little Miss Kenzie and her counterpart, little Miss Trinity. Thank you for the comment. Someone commented on one of the shorts I uploaded yesterday. These dogs are loving life, and I responded with, or they must love life, and I said yes, they do, and they help me love life too. If you don't own a pet, you should. But I'm not going to get into that. I want to get into something I saw this morning real quick while I was having my breakfast. There was a bit, this is a Fox News or Fox Business interview. One of the correspondents was in the Hall of Congress or the Senate or whatever, and she stopped Bernie Sanders. Remember that guy? She stopped him in the hallway and tried to ask him a question, and he was basically filibustering her and wouldn't answer the question. Finally got her an answer, but I guess the idea was like he's like billionaires like Jeff Bezos pay a lower tax rate, a lower effective tax rate than the people who work for him. This old canard. That's because he doesn't pay himself a salary to a great degree. He has dividends and he has stocks and he has other assets that determine his net worth. And everything Jeff Bezos does to live, he does from debt. He borrows. Because he's Jeff Bezos, anything he wants to buy, he gets the bank to pay for it. He gets someone else to pay for it. Same thing with Trump and all other CEOs and multimillionaires or billionaires. Why would you use your own cash? Your cash is there to make money for you. No, since the economy is based on debt, why the hell wouldn't you just utilize debt to pay for the things you need or the things you want? So yeah, well, his net worth may be a mighty number. Jeff Bezos, and I don't want to defend Jeff Bezos. I don't think he's a particularly nice fellow, but in general, the billionaire class, this notion that the billionaire class, the top 1%, as Bernie likes to call them, need to pay their fair share of taxes. The fact of the matter is, most people who are in the top 1% in terms of income pay a higher rate and end up paying more taxes than people who are of a lower income. They have a larger percentage of the tax burden. The top 25%, this is true in Canada, I'm pretty sure it's true in the United States, the top 25% of income earners pay 75% of taxes collected, of income taxes collected, or all taxes collected. Because when you earn a lot of money, you're going to buy a lot of shit, you're going to spend a lot of money, and in turn, all that money, all those transactions, everything you do is taxed. Not to mention the fact that you have a progressive tax rate, so the people who earn the most pay a higher rate, which I think is criminal. I think that's wrong. I think it disincentivizes people from trying to earn that extra $100,000 if it means it's going to put them over into the next tax bracket. That's what drives people. The progressive tax rate is what drives billionaires and millionaires and people who are of means to seek out these tax havens, to seek out these systems, these loopholes that allow them to avoid paying taxes. You'd be much better off if you had just a basic flat tax rate, that everybody paid the same flat tax regardless of your income. You make $70,000 a year, you pay a flat tax on the $70,000 a year. There's none of this, once you get over $60,000, you pay a higher rate. No, flat tax across the board, regardless of how much you earn. That is the only fair way to tax a population. Frankly, I think income tax should be abolished, but that's another matter. Anyway, I guess Bernie was in there because he was fighting for a 4-day work week, or a 32-hour work week, because while productivity has gone up over the last 30-40 years, remuneration and wages have not gone up in a commensurate manner, which is true. And that's because of inflation. That's also because we're on a fiat currency system, not on a gold standard, which we should be. But yeah, productivity has increased. And if you try and reduce the work hours while still paying people the same amount of money, something which I think in principle is a good idea, but the unintended consequences are, as things are moving more towards automation, and as borders are breaking down, and as businesses start to be able to access labor in other markets, and labor is coming from other countries and is crossing the borders illegally and are willing to work for less wages, why would somebody who's on the books with a social security number or a social insurance number who demands to only work 32 hours a week, why would somebody continue to be employed in that fashion? You could do it in a nice way. You could say, okay, everybody who's currently employed full-time and has been employed full-time for X number of years, your 40-hour work week is now a 32-hour work week. Or basically just change the overtime laws. Make it so that currently our overtime system is anything over 44 hours a week, you get paid time and a half. That's the requirement in Canada. They could simply change that. They could simply change it to anything over 32 hours a week or anything over 36 hours a week. So you get a 32-hour week with a 4-hour window that the employer can utilize you for extra work if needed. But anything over 36 hours, overtime. That would be the best way to do it, quite frankly. So if you want to reduce overtime threshold, then do it. But the idea that, everybody deserves to only work 32 hours a week and still maintain the same salary, that doesn't make any sense. All it's going to do is destroy the labor market. People who are currently employed will become unemployed as they're replaced with cheap migrant workers or robots or AI, because let's face it, these things can do things a hell of a lot more efficiently and a hell of a lot cheaper than, a liberal arts degree major who wants to work as in a marketing team somewhere. Why? When AI can do all your marketing. It's just something I thought about. I was watching, I'm like, as much as I like the idea of people being given more time off, because let's face it, work has become a lot easier. I don't know if I've told you this or not. I think I have. I work very little at my job. I'm paid for 37 and a half hours. I'm paid a salary, but my actual paid time is 37 and a half hours. I don't do overtime because, quite frankly, there's not enough work for me to do overtime. So if all of a sudden they said, okay, well, the law is now that Craig Bragg can get, he only has to work 32 hours overtime, or 32 hours. Well, then my employer is going to look and see how productive I am, and they're going to go, you know what, we could kill this department altogether and save the salary of 2 people who've been with the company for more than 10 years. I think the guy I work with, he's been for 15 years. And, just package them out and just replace it, just shuffle some things around and replace what they do with an algorithm that can sort out the problems and submit tickets and all that sort of stuff. Because that's coming, man. Like, problem solving aside, which is what we do, most of what we do could be automated through a ticketing system that any idiot could do. And the fact of the matter is, most of the agents that we have that take sales calls and do sales calls, they could be replaced with AI as well. They could be replaced with an online form. Here she goes. She's gonna start barking. I'm at the parking lot now. She starts barking. I apologize for your ears. Here she goes. Quiet. Ammunition 48 tonight. And I'll see y'all then at 10 p.m. 48 tonight. Ammunition 48 tonight on this channel at 10 p.m. We'll see y'all then. Take care. Bye-bye.